Peace, CO, Halito. How's everybody doing? All right, I'm going to dive right in. All right, so y'all know on my channel, if you're new to my channel, on here, you're going to get that gumbo pot of my bloodline, ancestors, spirituality, and culture. All right, you're going to get a gumbo pot. That's why I am the ancestral shapeshifter in this bitch. Now, we're going to get into the rituals that are done for all sports. All right. There is a hidden hand that controls shit, but every once in a while, the shit backfires. The little rituals that they do, sometimes it backfires on their ass. But remember, shit has to go with divine order. And events tell you what's going to happen in the fucking world. So it's more about just the sports game, the championship game, or the Super Bowl. It's deeper than that. It's messages. And I'm going to break down the messages. All right. Um, all right. So let's just start here. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, education, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. But overstand, people, this is fair use. This is for educational purposes only. This is for entertainment purposes only. So there's my disclaimer, YouTube and the quote unquote powers that be. So we're gonna show you this list, right? I'm gonna show you this list. All right. All right. So these are the teams. And there are two sides. Like on a fucking chessboard, it's two sides, right? So each of these teams is on either side. All right. One side is in favor of the original people. All right. When I say the original people, the melanated original people of all 7 continents, the brown people, the dark-skinned indigenous people, the original peoples. All right. One represents that, one side represents that, the other side represents the colonizers, right? And so with these sporting events, they set the stage for what's going to happen that year. Now, if y'all new to my channel, I break down all kind of esoteric shit, spiritual shit, cultural shit, celebrations and rituals and all that shit. So if you're new, buckle the fuck up. All right. So now y'all know my team all day is my home team is the Kansas City motherfucking Chiefs, and it's still Red Kingdom in this bitch. But of course, even though I know it's rituals going on, you still want your team to fucking win, right? So now I'm gonna start with the Chiefs first. The Chiefs, Kansas City Chiefs, represents the indigenous, the original people. When you hear me say original peoples, the original indigenous peoples. All right. Some will say origines, aborigines. It represents us, right? The Washington, it used to be the Redskins, but now it's the Commanders. All right. So they playing with that too. So that used to represent us, right? All right. Now, I'm not going to go over every team. I'm just going to highlight the 2 that just played, right? So, my team, the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Philadelphia Eagles. All right. Right here. Where they at? Right here. All right. All right. Now, Philadelphia, y'all know that used to be the capital of the U.S., right? And when Trump showed up at the Super Bowl, he's the first president to ever go to the Super Bowl. That was a major piece. Like, I already had my confirmation before the Super Bowl began, but of course, I'm going to scream loud and proud for my team anyway, right? So when Trump showed up, I said, oh shit, they really pulling out all the cards for their ritual. They got the chess pieces ready, right? So Trump is at that motherfucker. And all right, Philadelphia represents the colonizers, Philadelphia Eagles, because the colonizers, yeah. Now, of course, before they colonized, a great bird that was, according to our several different branches of original indigenous peoples, the dark-skinned Indians, we favored the turkey. The turkey is also considered the giveaway eagle. It's high in praise. You know, they have turkey feathers in their headdresses, things of that nature, right? Turkey also represents abundance, the abundance of the land. We had abundance of land before the colonizers came, right? So Philadelphia, the Eagles, the U.S. corporation, the colonizers, they adopted the eagle as their symbol. So you have the indigenous, the dark-skinned Indians, the original peoples represented as the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Philadelphia Eagles, which represents the colonizers. So it was predicted that the colonizers was going to win this one. Right. Now, last year, okay, it was predicted that the indigenous people were going to win, right? Which was my team, the Kansas City Chiefs, right? That represents the dark-skinned Indian people. Now, the dark-skinned Indian people, the original people, have been waking the fuck up. They have been waking up. People have been waking up to their original status, all right, of the Americas. Dark-skinned people are American people. Dark-skinned original people are American people, right? Of course, you go by your tribal nation, you go by your clans, all of that. You learn your genealogy. That's when, like, especially when they start doing them DNA fucking tests or whatever, that's when people really start paying attention to what was in their bloodline. Now, DNA tests don't tell you every ethnic group that's in your bloodline. This is why you just got to do research, your due diligence. Look at your ancestors, where they came from, where they traveled from, what Indian tribes was in that area, right? So people have been waking the fuck up. So during the Kansas City Chiefs reign, the last two Super Bowls we won, right? That's when, oh, it was heavy. People was waking the fuck up to who they are, right? We know that black is not a country. There's no country called black. All right. Do your research. So I'm gonna show y'all this book. All right. This is the book right here. All right. Return of the Ancient Ones. Read this book. Just read this book and then do your research on your own. Now, this is about where the chessboard was set up. The chessboard of the Super Bowl was set up in Louisiana, right? It was set up in the NOLA. All right, now my ancestors came from, some of them came from Spain and France, and they traveled to the NOLA, the port of New Orleans, right? They traveled there, mixed with the dark-skinned Indians there, right? So this is the battleground. This is the battleground that the Super Bowl took place. This is a significant one. Now, it's February, quote unquote, misnomer Black History Month, right? The true history of the misnomer, misclassified black people. When I say misclassified, the quote unquote black people are the descendants of the true dark-skinned Indians, the original people that was here before the colonizers came. So I'm bringing this book up and we're going to look at it a little bit, but it's about the Louisiana Purchase. All right. And I'm going to get into Kendrick and how the Super Bowl halftime show was set up like a fucking chessboard. The same lady that does they little setups, she's tapped into their rituals, right? Okay. So the return of the ancient ones. The ancient ones, the descendants of the ancient ones have been waking the fuck up and doing their genealogy, their due diligence, right? So this is the book we're going to get into, right? She breaks down about how illegal the Louisiana Purchase was. That was our ancestors' land, and it was illegally fucking like put up for sale. Like they gonna sell our shit, right? So let's look at this, all right? Because I'm setting the stage for what I'm about to tell y'all. So, all right, the Louisiana Purchase, right? The Louisiana Purchase was the 1803 acquisition of the Louisiana Territory from France by the United States. The purchase doubled the size of the United States and the corporation, the colonizers, and included land that would become 15 states. All right. It says what happened. In 1800, Spain transferred Louisiana. So Spain had Louisiana first, meaning they came to try to colonize the dark skinned Indians of Louisiana. All right, the misnomer, the Creoles, all of that, right? The Criollos. All right, if you have ancestors from Spain, you are Criollos. If you have ancestors from France, it's pronounced Creole. All right. Now you also have the dark skinned Indian tribes. Like I said, my ancestors came from Spain. Cause all right, my sister, she did that 23 and Me or one of them fucking genealogy things, right? But I talked to my great grandmother and I did research of my ancestors' names when I put them up on familysearch.org. And I saw where they came from, where their mama's mama came from, and I did a lot of research. All right, I'm still doing genealogy research, so I have seen the trails of where my ancestors came from. But let's read on. All right, so in 1800, Spain transferred Louisiana to France. All right, it was the Spanish invaded, colonized. Then the French came in and colonized. All right. Thomas Jefferson was concerned that France would use the Mississippi River to close off trade with the American West. Jefferson sent a treaty to the Senate for ratification. The Senate approved the treaty on October 20th, 1803. The United States paid France 15 million for the land. How the fuck you gonna pay France for some land? Now, France, they got in trouble with the French Revolution in the Haitian Revolution, the IET, the Haitian Revolution, with the dark skinned Indian that was fighting over there. They later start calling them Maroons. Oh, they got France got in trouble with them. They got their ass whooped, right? But today they done did some trickery to where IET has to pay France some money and all this fucked up shit, right? So anyway, shout out to all my Haitians out there that know your true indigenous heritage. All right, so what was acquired? It said the land stretched from the Mississippi River to the Rocky Mountains and from the Gulf of Mexico, which is the per research of my co-host of Southeastern Talking Stick, Chatupa. We talked about the Gulf of Mexico. It used to be called the Choctaw Sea or the Choctaw Gulf. All right. Now I knew that that was Choctaw land, so naturally, with the water next to Choctaw land, that is like belongs to the fucking Choctaw tribe, which I have a bloodline lineage of, right? On my maternal side. So he solidified that and gave us the proper name, the Choctaw Sea, the Choctaw Gulf, right? Uh I have viewed it as the Gulf of the Americas, which now is going back to that name, the Gulf of America, because it went from the Choctaw Sea, the Choctaw Gulf, which it was basically the dark-skinned indigenous tribes sea, to the Choctaw Gulf, the Choctaw Sea. Then it went to the Gulf of Mexico, and now it has returned back to the Gulf of America, which Americas is our original ancestors' indigenous land, our dark skinned ancestors, right? Return of the ancient ones. This is what we're talking about, right? So, all right, it's stretched from the Gulf of the Americas, the Gulf of Mexico, to the Canadian border. The land included all or part of 15 modern U.S. states, including Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Iowa, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, North Dakota, and South Dakota. And side note, Missouri and Kansas are separate. They're right next door to each other. All right. I live in Missouri, but Kansas is right across the state line next to us. So the Kansas City Chiefs are from Missouri. KC Mo. Get you some Tech 9 in your life. He breaks it down for y'all. Kansas City, Missouri, KC Mo. All right. This is the home of the Kansas City motherfucking Chiefs, right? So this is a part of that land, right? Louisiana is a part of this land. This is why this battle with the change of guard, this is like mimicking. It's like they are trying to mimic that energy of when the colonizers came in and took over and then try to sell our fucking land to somebody else that got millions of dollars. It says that they got fucking $15 million for our ancestors' land, which is so fucked up, right? So it's deeper than sports. Yeah, we have fun and we want our team to win. Everybody want their team to win. No matter what team, no matter what side your team is on, you still want your team to win. All right? So, oh yeah, and side note, let me go back to this. I'm gonna read this. We're gonna hold our place right here, right? But right here, this right here. This right here. So I broke down two of the teams that was representing indigenous people, right? The Kansas City Chiefs and the Washington now Commanders. They were considered Washington Redskins, right? This plays over into baseball, basketball, soccer, all the major sports. They do rituals, but it's only two sides, y'all. It's only two sides. It's the indigenous original people side and it's the colonizer side. So let me just give you two. This from the colonizers. I did tell y'all the Philadelphia Eagles represents the colonizers because the eagle was adopted by the United States Corporation as their mascot or whatever, right? So Philadelphia Eagles represents the colonizers. It was the first capital of the United States Corporation. All right. So now the San Francisco 49ers represent the colonizers. Y'all remember the gold rush and all of that shit when everybody was flocking to California to get that gold. That gold belongs to the dark-skinned California Indians. All right. Different tribes. The Anasazi was there, the Pueblo people, the Dene. It's a lot of dark-skinned indigenous tribes there. And so colonizers traveled up to that San Francisco area for the gold rush, digging for gold everywhere. Just like in the South, they dig for the other gold, which is oil. It's a natural resource. All right. That's what colonizers, they come in and they want to get your natural fucking resources, right? So San Francisco 49ers is a colonizer team. All right. They on the chessboard of this ritual of the Super Bowls and all the sports on in their rituals, San Francisco 49ers represent the colonizers as well as the raiders raiding land. You coming from other foreign lands to raid our ancestors' land. So where they at? The Las Vegas Raiders. They done changed names several times. They represent the colonizers because, and it tells you in the name, and you got to do research on how they got their fucking name, who they was named after, all of that shit. Do research on the state, the land, the city. You got to do your fucking due diligence, right? So the Las Vegas Raiders represents the colonizers. The San Francisco 49ers represents the colonizers. Now the Buccaneers is like the fucking pirates and shit. Now this is like dealing with people that be on the water, that maritime law shit. Pirates, they was moving on the water and they felt that they could just be the thugs of the fucking oceans and seas and lakes and all that shit. They was the thugs and shit. All right. Now they could be for any side. The Buccaneers, they could be for any side. It could be a mixture of colonizers and indigenous people making dirty deals, underhanded deals, right? The Buccaneers, them pirates was about themselves. They were selfish. They was about, just getting whatever the fuck, right? So they kind of like a mixture team. They could do a lot in a ritual, they could do a lot of shit with the Buccaneers, right? They could do some shit. Now, of course, the New England Patriots, colonizers, they're on the colonizer side of this ritual of the Super Bowl. They are a big one. Okay. Now, the Titans, all right, it's some ancient stories about the Titans. So, I might do a part 2 to this video, but do some research about the Titans and who they are uh in today's shit. All right. Do some research on the fucking Titans. But they it's like you have the indigenous, our ancient ancestors had their own view on the source, great spirit, the source of all things, what y'all call God or goddess. They had their own spirituality system set up before the colonizers came, right? And so things, they talk about spiritual things that happen in the heavens, and you have the Titans against the gods, or the, you know uh great spirit and great spirit's immediate family. A lot of indigenous cultures personify different aspects of great spirit, saying that, okay, this is the daughter of great spirit, this is the son of great spirit, this is this, and they personify like the elements, the planets, all that shit. They looked at observatories, they observed the stars and the sacred calendars of old. They do a lot of shit, right? So with the Titans, it's the Titans versus the gods. All right. Now the gods will be technically the original peoples, right? The dark-skinned Indians, the dark-skinned indigenous peoples. So, but now the saints could be like uh it could be a either or team, but this is the thing. It's really I feel that it's really um it's a dual thing because, all right, when colonizers colonized, especially like in Haiti, Haiti, and in Louisiana, we already, our indigenous ancestors already had their spiritual system set up. So when the colonizers came, their spiritual systems kind of went underground, like with voodoo, obeah, like from, the Caribbeans, and uh so there you have our ancestors adopting Catholicism and using the saints as the forefront. The saints are the forefront of their spiritual system. And then underneath it is voodoo, hoodoo, southern folk magic, root work. All of that stuff is underneath the saints, and they call it Santeria, right? So these teams represent a lot of shit, y'all. Um, I don't got time to go over every single one, but I'm just, you know, pointing out some shit. So the saints, um, which explains the Saints record. The Saints record, they really want to suppress the Saints in Louisiana, meaning the dark skinned Indians who adopted Catholicism and practiced like Santeria and voodoo and things of that nature. They really want to suppress them so that they won't like claim their land back. But as you saw in like the pregame show, they were showing a lot of the rich culture of New Orleans. All right, they showed a lot of rich culture, and it's dark skinned Indian land, Louisiana, and Louisiana actually used to be this size. Where it is it? I got it in my thing. All right, over here. All right, we're gonna look at this. Y'all see this? This whole, all of this is dark skinned Indian land. This whole fucking right here. But this middle part is Louisiana. And so I brought up this book right here because she wrote a book. All right. Empress Verdiasi. She wrote this book, Return of the Ancient Ones, letting you know that Louisiana is dark skinned Indian land. She took the state of Louisiana to court. She fucking won. Basically, I'm just paraphrasing. The Louisiana Purchase was a fucking illegal transaction. It was illegal, bitches. All right. So, yeah. So she breaks down a lot in this book, y'all. Y'all read it, research it, and y'all gotta dodge the hijack on some of the wording. Um, but for the most part, check out this book. Check out this book. The ancient ones are the dark-skinned Indians that built the mounds everywhere. This is mounds all up in the United States. All right. It's sacred mounds, all kind of mounds, burial mounds, mounds where they did spiritual ceremonies. Now the colonizers try to copy our indigenous ancestors, and they came up with their little fucked up rituals. A ritual that takes place, one of the biggest one that takes place every year, is the Super Bowl ritual, right? And so, since a lot of indigenous, dark skinned indigenous people been waking the fuck up, the last two Super Bowls, the Chiefs was heading strong. It represented the dark skinned indigenous people and our ancestors' descendants. Yeah, they mixed with other people. So you have the Mongoloid indigenous people that came later, and you have the admixtures, right? So they are a part of our extended family, right? But they also have bloodline of the colonizers. And the average person got a mixture of some colonizers in their blood, some fucking where. So, but I'm showing y'all this was the battleground, the place of the Super Bowl where they are trying to mimic this illegal Louisiana purchase, right? This is why they kind of suppressed the New Orleans Saints. They kind of suppressed them. They haven't had good years. Let's see. Let me pull this up. Okay, Superbowls. Yeah. Saints one. But it's about the Louisiana Purchase, and then we're gonna get into K Dot and the ritual that was being performed, but he was putting y'all up on game if y'all wasn't fucking paying attention, right? All right. Okay, so the New Orleans Saints have won one Super Bowl championship in 2010. All right, y'all can go do research on what was the atmosphere of the world when the Saints won in 2010. All right, y'all can look up this. All right, y'all can look up this. All right, and they beat the Colts, the Indianapolis Colts. All right, in 2010. All right, you got the Florida Leaf on there. All right, they got that new NOLA Walk of Fame. Shout out to Master P, Managa, Master P for spearheading that. I really love the rich culture. Kansas City has a rich musical culture, and Louisiana and Memphis, they have a rich culture, musical culture also. Um, yeah, it's a lot of things. Do research on your state, on your city, on your favorite teams. Why are you drawn to them? And do some research. Why are they called what they are? Are they on? Do they represent the colonizers or the dark skinned indigenous people? Do your research on that, right? So they've been suppressing the Saints. All right. Um, but you know how they be digging and doing all kind of shit in the city, and they find out, oh, it's some dark skinned Indian graves, and you know, Congo Square is actually dark skinned Indian land, and with the small amount of Africans that came here, it was a very small amount. They lied about the amount to y'all. It was a very small amount, and they mixed in with the dark skinned Indians. All right. So, um, Congo Square, it talks about the indigenous and it talks about the African. So visit the historical sites. New Orleans is rich in culture. I used to go down to New Orleans every year when I went to Grambling State in Louisiana. My mama's people are from Louisiana, from New Orleans up to Northeast Louisiana. All right, by Bossier City. All right, by Shreveport. So I had it was a family tradition for me to go to Grambling. And when I went to Grambling, I would travel down to New Orleans every year for the Bayou Classic in New Orleans, where Grambling plays Southern. So that's another ritual within some shit. It's really how a lot of indigenous tribes were fighting each other before the fucking colonizers came here. So, all right, so I just want to show y'all. It says the Saints have won one Super Bowl championship in 2010. All right. So, but the Super Bowl was about, uh, yeah. Even though all these dark skinned indigenous people been waking the fuck up and they know their genealogy now, they know who they are, who they come from, what's their bloodline now. Um, it's represented in a lot of uh factions, right? Is represented in a lot of factions. So, yeah, we're going to go, and this is what I'm talking about. Either your team represents the colonizers or the indigenous people. And it's about what's going on in the world. It represents current events. Peace to everybody tuning in. In case you just now, you know, coming through, I'm breaking down the rituals of the Super Bowl rituals that the colonizers do. Because the colonizers, they was like, oh, we gonna have our spiritual religious shit. We see these indigenous people, they already have their spiritual shit going on. They are trying to mimic our shit, right? And y'all gotta know that we are more powerful than the shit. But a lot of our relatives are sleepwalking around this motherfucker. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys and the Texans, they represent like the police type shit. Um so in any team that got red, white, and blue, any team that got red, white, and blue, 9 times out of 10, they for the colonizers. They for the colonizers. Unless it's stated in their name, do the research of the state and the city that they represent. Um I already broke down the 49ers and the Raiders. They are on the colonizer side because these colonizers raided our land, our dark-skinned ancestors' indigenous land. They stole the gold in California from the dark-skinned California Indians. The New England Patriots. Y'all saw how long Brady and them ran the fucking Super Bowl shit. Red, white, and blue shit, right? colonizer team, right? Uh and shout out to all the football players. It takes a fucking lot to master that shit, that physical strength and strategy and shit. Y'all some cold motherfuckers. Okay? But even the Bills, the Buffalo Bills. So what I get from this is we played them. The Chiefs played them. We beat their ass, right? They was red, white, and blue. I wouldn't be surprised if these motherfuckers show up in the next 5 years. A red, white, and blue team gonna show up. Cause see, they didn't want to do the obvious and do the red, white, and blue. They did the Philadelphia Eagles. And that's green. Green can kind of be a neutral color. It deals with land though. It deals with land, the earth. So, like I said, Philadelphia was the first capital of the U.S. It represents the colonizers. They came here and started this U.S. corporation. Our dark-skinned indigenous ancestors was already here on the land. And this was our land right here. The illegal Louisiana purchase. Louisiana was all of this. But all of this was belong to various dark-skinned indigenous tribes, y'all. Just so y'all know. But this is the size of Louisiana. So let me finish reading where I had stopped. I said, okay, the land included or part of 15 modern U.S. states, including Louisiana. This is why the Super Bowl battle was this significant one with the change of the guard. They trying to mimic this Louisiana illegal purchase. They trying to mimic this shit, right? All right, so Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, okay, Iowa, Oklahoma, and Kansas, Nebraska, North Dakota, South Dakota. Okay, then they said, how was it received? We talking about the Louisiana purchase, y'all. If you're just tuning in, all right, you can rewind and peep game. So, all right, some Republicans celebrated the purchase as a sign of future prosperity and peace. Yeah, because y'all colonized and stole fucking land, and y'all stole the resources of the land. Now, Louisiana is rich in oil. That's a form of like gold. All right, Louisiana and this whole Louisiana represents oil. Represents oil. Even Texas do too, but even oil, right? And then California is the gold rush. They raided, and the 49ers, they came here looking for gold on indigenous land. All right. This is why your team is named what the fuck it is. Do your research, y'all. I mean, have fun. Yeah, everybody want their home team to win. I get it. I understand. But understand it's deeper. All right, so this is the Louisiana illegal Louisiana purchase, right? So this is for educational purposes only, for entertainment purposes only. Here's my disclaimer again for everybody tuning in. Yeah, check it. This is for criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use. All right. So let's go back to this. Now we're gonna look at. I gotta send myself this video, but they show the blueprint of the fucking the fucking the halftime show with K Dot. He did. Now they was wearing red, white, and blue. They had Uncle Sam in that motherfucker, right? Oh shit. Let me see. I gotta send myself this. We gotta watch this shit. This is for educational purposes only. All right. Let me pull this up, y'all, so y'all can see this shit. All right. Now, yes, K Dot, he told y'all about the 40 acres and a mill. Y'all been listening to his song a good what? Since the summer when it fucking dropped. But he always dropped jewels and his shit. I'm a real hip hop head. I'm about true bars, true lyricism, that conscious rap shit mixed with a little gangster shit. That's me. I love that type of shit. You tell me some shit. Spit some consciousness in your raps. Not that bullshit, that Versace bullshit. Okay? Uh give me some music to help me navigate through this fucked up ass life. This fucked up realm that we in. But anyway, okay, I'm typing this shit in because I want y'all to see this shit. They showing y'all the ritual, and at the beginning of the, okay, just by Trump being there, that told me the colonizers, that just confirmed, because I already knew the colonizers was gonna win this shit. Everybody was saying my team was gonna win again, but I knew it was different. But I'm still gonna be representing and hollering my team. um I'm trying to pull this up. All right, I'm pulling this up so y'all can see this blueprint. It's like a chessboard and shit. How they do their ritual. I ain't making this shit up. They they just try to do so much shit to keep people fucking sleepwalking around this motherfucker, and it pisses me the fuck off. Yeah, you can have fun and all that shit, but look at the bigger picture. And it would take a K dot, a Kendrick Lamar, to spit y'all some real shit. Y'all need to listen to his fucking lyrics. While y'all crip walking and blood walking, listen to his fucking lyrics. All right, I'm big on lyrics. Music is my fucking medicine, so I'm very conscious of the shit. I don't always speak on shit that I know, because sometimes silence is fucking golden. I can know some shit, and a motherfucker can lie in my face or be fake in my face, and I'll just fucking disappear. All kind of shit. But I watch shit, and if y'all been rocking with me on my channel, y'all know I peep out a lot of spiritual shit that the average person ain't paying attention to. But I don't always speak on it. But I speak on some of this shit, and I might throw some gems. I might throw some fucking gems to y'all, like I'm doing fucking now. And we about to watch this shit right here. All right, this is for educational purposes only.
That's how Kendrick Lamar is incredible.
Okay, we just gonna show it. All right, look at this, y'all. I can't even pause. Yeah, I can pause it. But y'all see this? This look like it's the blueprint, but it's really kind of like a fucking chessboard, right? This is how the shit was set up. All right, and this the lady that does the shit. Look at this shit. This is how they do their rituals, y'all. Y'all think it's a nice design, it's tight, it's wonderful, blah blah blah. It's a fuck. She She on their fucking payroll. In some way, she on the colonizers' payroll. She on that motherfucker, y'all. And do a little side note research about these people right here. The story of the Committee of 300. Do a little research about them, y'all. Just side note, we're gonna go back to the video momentarily, but just do a little research on them. Y'all can find this online. But this is one of the hidden hand, one of the hidden fingers of the shit. The people, quote unquote, above the table. All right. Now back to this. This is how they set up the rituals and shit. And this is the motherfucking shit at the pregame. This shit is shaped like an eagle. Um, dang it, and they going over past Super Bowls and shit. But that shit, I'm gonna have to rewind it. Um, but they just showing how, they do all this prep work to, set up the ritual and everything. And of course, now Kendrick is working in this dual shit right here. Dual, like Dual, dual. All right. Kendrick is waking up the fucking people. Like reminding the people, stay woke, motherfucker. This is what the fuck it is. Stay woke. He has Samuel Jackson there representing Uncle Sam. He had his little hat on with the stars and all the shit. He had uh dark brown and brown people in these colors. And he was talking about the cultural divide, how they trying to divide all the melanated people. They've been trying to do this since they colonized. Matter of fact, this is how they fucking colonized. By infiltrating some of the dirty fucking Moors, the dirty dark-skinned people. Not all Moors are dirty. Let's be clear. Not all Moors are dirty. All right. Now they dealt with Spanish Moors, but this is the thing: in every ethnic group, there are evil people and good people, and some people that's in the middle. Some people that color outside the lines and shit. It's always good and bad in every ethnic group. Let's be clear. Let's be fucking clear, right? So he's showing y'all this is things work in like symbols. They fucking language is symbolism. Y'all need to study symbolism. I've been loving symbolism since I've been writing poetry since I was young in fucking elementary school. On up to now today, and it's on a whole nother level. Me reading symbology. They use a lot of fucking symbols, the colors, uh the words, the colors, the images. They show all this shit. So he's showing how we could have unity, but we must first have unity amongst all the dark-skinned indigenous tribes descendants. Us. We must have unity among ourselves for us to like power the fuck up. All like power the fuck up all the fucking way or close to all the way to defeat this shit as a whole. Cause right now, why it's divided, this is how they can get off these rituals. Sometimes the rituals be in our favor. Let's be clear. The last 2 years, the rituals was in our favor, meaning dark-skinned indigenous people. It's been a period of people waking the fuck up. Now, when the Saints won the Super Bowl in 2010, that was right before 2012 when they were saying, oh, the world is going to end, blah, 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 blah. No, it's talking about the end of a cycle. All right. The Mayan calendar was talking about the end of a cycle. Now, I've been studying this shit for a while, and I really picked it up when I understood how the Mayans was connected to my bloodline. So y'all can watch previous videos. I ain't even gonna go all into that, but the dark-skinned Mayans of old, the ancient ones, yeah. Make sure y'all go check out this book, uh Return of the Ancient Ones. Read this shit. Talks about the illegal Louisiana purchase, right? This is where the Super Bowl was done this year for this ritual, this change of the guard. Now, it's Super Bowl 59. 5 plus 9 is 14. All right, 14. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 is the number of change. Change. All right. Change can also represent fucking chaos. So it's gonna be some shit happening, even though the dude is making all these rules and executive orders and shit. Just peep game. It's gonna be some chaos, and it's gonna be a red, white, and blue team, or one of the colonizer teams is gonna be the winner of the next Super Bowl. All right. So have fun. Yeah, represent your shit. Do that. Do that. But one of these red, white, and blue teams, the Buffalo Bills, the Cowboys, the Texans, uh, the Titans, They may or may not be included, even though they red, white, and blue. They may be included. The Patriots. Now the Patriots, they done had they time to reign, unless they get a whole new squad or some new athletes that's on another level. Uh, New York Giants. That's a red, white, and blue team. Um, Now the red, white, and blue teams are the obvious colonizer teams, but they don't always show y'all they fucking hand. That's why the Philadelphia Eagles is green and black. But Philadelphia, let me show y'all that so y'all won't think I'm just making shit up. Philadelphia was the first fucking capital of the U.S. corporation. The colonizers, when they came, this is what they deemed was their fucking capital before it was fucking D.C. So, all right. Let me pull that up for y'all. Yeah. And it makes me think about the oracles of Delphi. Now you have the indigenous seers and medicine people, high priestess and priests, voodoo priestess and priest mambos. You have all these dark-skinned spiritual people, and now they gotta have their oracles of Delphi. All right. Um Now, okay, I'm pulling up the Philadelphia shit so I can show y'all that shit. Okay, so here we go. Philadelphia, first capital of U.S.A. is really the United States Corporation. The Americas belongs to the dark-skinned indigenous peoples and um, the descendants of them. Now we got admixtures. It's our extended family and shit. All right, so all right. It says Philadelphia was the temporary capital of the United States from 1790 to 1800. The city was home of the U.S. Congress and the residence of Presidents George Washington and John Adams. The Residence Act of 1790 established Philadelphia as the temporary capital until the uh, permanent capital in Washington, D.C. was completed. All right. The U.S. Congress met in Congress Hall, where the House of Representatives met on the first floor and the Senate met upstairs. Washington lived in the Robert Morris House on High Street, blah, 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 in his living space, blah, blah, blah. But I just wanted to show y'all this. It says, the city was the site of the First Continental Congress and the Constitutional Convention. The Declaration of Independence and the Constitution were written and signed in Philadelphia. And Trump was at the fucking Super Bowl, y'all. So look at this. Look at all the signs. It's telling y'all what the fuck it is. This told y'all that they team, the colonizers team, the Philadelphia Eagles was gonna win the Super Bowl. It was gonna be a change. All right. Because the last two Super Bowls, the indigenous peoples was waking the fuck up. All right. And Missouri and Kansas, but Missouri represents part Missouri is where Kansas City Chiefs are from. So it represents a part of that Louisiana purchase that I just showed y'all right here. All right. This is the Louisiana purchase. All right. This is the all of this is dark skinned indigenous land, original people's land, but this is a significant part of the puzzle of the whole picture, right? This is it, right? So, and this would take uh place in Louisiana, in New Orleans, and during the misnomer Black History Month, dark skinned Negro Indian History Month. This took place. So Trump showing up at the game, all right, He showed up at the game, and it the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl, right? Philadelphia was the temporary capital of the United States from 1790 to 1800. The city was home of the U.S. Congress and the residence of President uh, George Washington and John Adams. All right. It says the Residence Act. The Residence Act of 1790 established Philadelphia as the temporary capital until permanent capital in Washington, D.C. was completed in 1800. Now, it says that the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution were written and signed in Philadelphia. The city was home of the first U.S. Mint, the first uh, misnomer African, the first dark-skinned Indian, Negro Indian Methodist Episcopal Church, and the first women's medical college. Interesting. So, y'all, something is going to be happening with our U.S. Mint. So, the Bills might be in that Super Bowl next year. I wouldn't be surprised. Even though it's the buffalo represents abundance and indigenous culture. Depends on what tribal nation you're from, but most of the time, the bison, the buffalo, represents indigenous culture. Um, it was a prized possession for our people because it was food. We thanked Great Spirit for the food that it provided. Using the buffalo, the bison gave us all kind of shit, not just food, but we used it for a lot of things, right? To combat weather, we made things out of its hide, all that. So we gave thanks for the buffalo, right? But it could also be viewed as a type of money, a type of currency, right? So bills, when you think about dollar bills, $2 bills, $5 bills, $10 bills, $20 bills, $50 bills, $100 bills. When you think about that. All right. So I wouldn't be surprised if that red, white, and blue team show up next year. All right. Now they could. We're gonna watch how the shit play out. But they could choose another team. Uh because they like to do hidden hand shit. They like to do hidden in plain sight, eyes wide shut type shit to people that's even though your eyes is open, you not seeing the fucking signs. Your eyes are wide, but they're fucking shut. So open them the fuck up, people. So with the U.S. Mint, it was home of the first U.S. Mint. They trying to do all this technology stuff with cryptocurrency and money and things of that nature. So just be looking for shit like that to happen. The Super Bowl will tell you what is going on in current events in the world. It sets the stage for the shit. So they trying to come through and mimic this, the Louisiana Purchase type shit. And you got this is the area that let me pull this. Let's look at this one. Let's see if they make it bigger. This don't even have the names on it, but I was trying to get it to where a map that had the fucking names on it. Let me go back. So this I broke down this. I read the short condensed version of it, but do research on the Louisiana Purchase. That was dark-skinned Indian land, especially, and a dark-skinned Indian woman descendant. She took the state of Louisiana to fucking court, and It's referenced in this book, Return of the Ancient Ones. Read it. Read it. The PDF is online right here. Bam, you can read the shit. All right? Return of the Ancient Ones by Empress Verdiasi, Empress of the Black Washita tribe. That's a dark-skinned indigenous tribe, right? We are descendants of the mound builders. All right. So just do your own genealogy and research, people. Do your own genealogy and research. But I'm gonna go back to this. All right, now this talks about the illegal Louisiana purchase, and I read a little summary at the beginning of the video. All right, it just says how it was under Spanish and French rule. This is an old map. Louisiana area in the early 18th century. All right. I want to make this bigger. All right. La Louisiane. Look at this shit. Let me make it bigger. Yeah. All right. Here we go. All right. This is where the Super Bowl was. Right here. It was here. All right. All right here. You see the Great Lakes and all that. But all of this, bam. All of this, y'all. Peace to everybody in the chat. Thank y'all for tuning in. Let's look at this shit, right? All right, this is the map. It's a Mississippi, St. Louis. Where is St. Louis? It's in Missouri, the home of the Kansas City Chiefs. All right. Now, this represents them taking the Super Bowl crown from the Kansas City Chiefs of Missouri, which is a part of old Louisiana, in Louisiana. Philadelphia, representing the colonizers, came in and did that shit. All right. So this is just telling us a story. It's letting you know the temperature of the world events, current events, what's going on. All of that shit. All that shit. So, yes, Mississippi, St. Louis, which is in Missouri. All right, this is the map. And it just shows you and they don't really this is it has they not really breaking it down into the tribes of the whole Louisiana. Yeah. Yeah. This is it right here. So this is the old map of Louisiana. And this is taking place. This ritual is being taken place in Louisiana. Yeah, excuse me, y'all. Yeah, so this let me just show y'all this. This for educational entertainment purposes only. But I'm gonna let it play again so y'all can see the silhouette of that eagle um at the beginning. Yeah. Yeah, y'all see that eagle? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I wanted y'all to see that. They got a whole bunch of shit, floating around about the ritual that took place. But let me see if I can pull it up. And shout out to her. Let's shout her out real quick. She's a New Orleans native, Louisiana native. She represents the dark skinned Indian descendant. All right. She designed this logo for the Super Bowl, y'all, just so y'all know. She's in a Mardi Gras Indian tribe. Uh, they mask as Indians, giving homage to the dark skinned Indian ancestors. All right. A lot of them have dark skinned indigenous ancestry bloodline. So um, they they put on their regalia. They sew their suits from hand by hand. They put on their regalia, and they did this in the Trimi when the the light skinned Creoles and the French and the Spanish people, the light skinned ones, they didn't want them in a regular Mardi Gras parade. So we did our own Carnival Mardi Gras in our neighborhoods, which is really Chatot land, right? Dark skinned Indian land. So all of Louisiana is dark skinned Indian land. Various tribes, not just the Choctaw, but various tribes. So shout out to her. She's a young lady, 26-year-old Queen Taj Williams, became the first dark skinned Indian or Negro Indian woman to design the Super Bowl logo. Shout out to her. That's big shit right there. Salute. So for the next Super Bowl, y'all just gotta do y'all research on which colonizer team is gonna win, because one of these red, white, and blue ones are the obvious choice. They may use a obvious red, white, and blue team, or they gonna use one that's hidden like the Eagles, but it ain't so hidden because it's in the name. If you do research on Philadelphia, which I just put y'all up on game about Philadelphia right here. Philadelphia was the temporary capital of the United States from 1790 to 1800. Trump was at the fucking Super Bowl, y'all. That was he didn't give a fuck. He was like, all right, I'm showing up. I'm showing up. And he just like powered they ritual more. All right. Even he was on Indian land, y'all. He was on Indian land with an indigenous team, the Kansas City Chiefs. That's who the Chiefs represents, and the indigenous peoples. the original dark-skinned indigenous peoples, and the Philadelphia Eagles represents the U.S. corporation, the colonizers. So he showed up in person on Indian land, and that added power to their little fucking ritual. So, yeah. So, be looking for some shit to happen with the U.S. Mint and our spiritual system. So, when they came here, the colonizers, they fucked with our resources in the Midwest, in the South, the Southeast. They fucked with our resources, our land, um, and they fucked with our money, or what we call our money, our trade system. They fucked with our whole fucking operation. The colonizers did. So yeah, the Super Bowl, the football, and all sports are all fun and games. Everybody, yes, you want your fucking team to win. You want your team to win, especially your home team, not another team, and that's your trader team. But everybody wants their home team to win. I get it, but overstand it's a ritual. I've been knowing it's a ritual. I have spoken on it over the years. Uh, and I used to have another Facebook page that got uh like taken down a couple of years ago, but I used to do a lot of shit, expose a lot of hidden shit, occultic shit. Occult just means something that's fucking hidden. You got to decipher the signs and symbols. You got to read the signs and symbols, know what the fuck they mean, know what the fuck they are. So now y'all know it. Philadelphia means that the U.S. corporation is basically um colonizing again. It's indigenous land, but they came in and they colonized. It's mimicking the Louisiana Purchase. So that wasn't done by accident. This is an old map of Louisiana. Louisiana. All right. And I have a great grandmother named after Louisiana. Yes. So it's it's very interesting. And I'm just showing y'all this so y'all can see they little rituals that they do right before your eyes. And I'm trying to look at some other ones that people did that shows the halftime show ritual. I showed y'all where they had the chessboard, how the design was set up. I showed y'all that. Let me see. Okay, let me see. This is the one I just showed with the yeah, oh, and all right. Let me see. I think I found one. Okay. Okay, this is just showing the bars and the restaurants. So, in essence, it did bring money to New Orleans, Louisiana, because of they really owe us a lot of shit. The colonizers owe us a lot of shit because of the illegal Louisiana Purchase. That shit was illegal. How you gonna sell some land that don't even fucking belong to you? But yes, y'all need to get this book. Y'all need to get this book. Let's just thumb through it real quick. Yeah. Let's just thumb through it real quick. I need to make this shit bigger so I can see. Bam. Okay, she tells you, some of her descendants, her bloodline. And right. Okay. Finding the missing link. The Black Cajun Queen. Um, mm, Back in ancient times with the ancient ones, that's chapter 5. What they taught in school did not add up to be the truth. All right, so the last 2 years, everybody been on their indigenous genealogy and ancestry. That's when the Kansas City Chiefs was reigning supreme. Represents the dark-skinned Indians, right? Even in 2010 when the Saints won. I told y'all they used the Catholicism as the front, the Saints as the front, but underneath is Santeria, it's voodoo, hoodoo, it's all kind of indigenous spirituality systems, root work, corundismo, all that shit. Um and right now, the great horror is riding the beast. That's where we at. So Trump was at the Super Bowl. Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl, and Philadelphia represents the colonizers. This is where after they colonized, this is where they set up their first capital, Philadelphia. So I just encourage y'all to research shit. Everything ain't, don't take it at face value. Yeah, you want your team to win. I understand you want to represent where you live. Now, if your favorite team is your home team where you from, and you ride for your home team, whether they win, lose, or draw, you still ride for your home team, cool. But you got a traitor fucking team. What's up with that traitor mentality? What's up with that? But this is why. Put all the pieces together. You got Trump at the Super Bowl game. He's the first president to ever be at a fucking Super Bowl game. He making it so obvious that it's a ritual. Now y'all can see that it's a fucking ritual. We've been saying this for years that it's a ritual. But we've been enjoying it. You like I said, you want your home team to win. You do. You want your favorite teams to win. But it's a ritual at the end of the day, and it sets the stage for what's going on. Now, the colonizers then came in here, and it says Philadelphia was the temporary capital of the United States from 1790 to 1800. And down here, I read all this. I'm just highlighting. The city was home of the first U.S. Mint, the first misnomer African Methodist Episcopal Church, at the first women's college, medical college, and the first women's medical college, right? The healers, uh, in indigenous spirituality and culture, we had healers, we had seers, we had we had a whole system set up. We taught colonizers how to have systems of shit, but they just was on some dark shit. Just so y'all know. But this is why they won. Trump was at the game to solidify the shit. He added extra battery fucking pack to the shit. He showed up at the ritual. That's rare. You know, he don't give a fuck. He showed up at the fucking Super Bowl ritual, y'all. That says a lot. And the Philadelphia Eagles, like I said, the Eagles uh is the symbol, even though it's an indigenous symbol for us, we honored the eagle in various indigenous cultures, but the colonizers adopted the eagle as their, so this is their rituals, this is their game. We gotta know how to beat them at their game. That's where the fuck we need to, what we need to be focusing on. Like I said, the red, white, and blue team, start watching them. They gonna be showing the fuck up because either they gonna choose an obvious red, white, and blue team, or one of their hidden hand teams, like Philadelphia Eagles was one of their hidden hand teams because they don't represent that. They don't represent a red, white, and blue, but they do represent that shit. Now the Steelers stealing, just like stealing resources. Pittsburgh Steelers, they steal resources. This is just colonizers stealing resources. All right. The Raiders is stealing land, like with the Louisiana purchase, the illegal purchase of Louisiana. Las Vegas Raiders, y'all represents the colonizers because y'all named after the people that raided the Americas and stole land and shit. And the 49ers, yeah, 49ers represents the colonizers because y'all came here during the gold rush and stole resources, natural resources that Great Spirit had for indigenous peoples. Y'all came and stole gold. Now in Texas, the Texans and the Cowboys, that's like a police type of energy, regulating police type of energy, even though Texas is really indigenous land, but oil, like Louisiana and Texas, the original Louisiana, like this map I showed y'all, the original Louisiana and Texas um represents that other natural resource that's worth a lot of fucking money, which is oil. It's fucking oil. It's all about that black gold, that oil, right? So, and this was the old map that I showed of Louisiana, how it was illegally fucking purchased. I don't know why it won't go back to the size. Oh, here we go. All right. All right. But this is an old map of Louisiana. All right. Just so y'all can see about the illegal Louisiana purchase. So it's about several things. The Super Bowl was a ritual about a lot of things. It's dealing with natural resources of the land, the dark-skinned indigenous people, which would the Kansas City Chiefs represented the dark-skinned indigenous peoples, the original peoples, and their descendants, which is us. We got a lot of our ancestors, descendants, that's our relatives that have other things in their bloodline. They have admixtures. So all our people don't look dark. So just so y'all know. But it was about the stealing of our land and our resources, our natural resources, black gold and land. The land and the natural resources that came with the land. That's what it was about. So when you see sports, this is what it's about. You got to figure out your team, your home team, or your favorite team. You got to figure out whose team they on. Are they on the colonizers team? Do they represent the colonizers, the U.S. corporation, or do they represent the dark-skinned indigenous people, what they call the Negro Indian, um, the Aborigines, the Aborigines, all the derivatives, y'all. We're talking about the original dark-skinned Indian peoples. And this book, get this book. It talks about the illegal Louisiana purchase and how she took the state of Louisiana to court. She won, all of that. She breaks down a little history about the ancient ones, the mound builders. All right. This ritual is about this shit. It's about the colonizers coming in and taking our shit. And then taking things that we have said are value to us, like land, um oil, the animals on the land, the herbs and roots on the land, the waters on the land. uh they came in and colonized and took that shit illegally. So the illegal Louisiana Purchase. So let's kind of look at this book, just because this Negro Indian History Month. Like the last 2 years told y'all, it heightened knowing your genealogy, knowing your dark skinned Indian past, your ancestry, knowing that shit, right? So this is talking about how our land was stolen from our ancestors and it's ours, right? It's no mistake that this Super Bowl was in Louisiana. Super Bowl 59, that's 14. 1 plus 4 is 5, the number of change. This was a changing of the guard. They trying to mimic this stealing of Louisiana. And Missouri and Kansas is a part of the original Louisiana, which I showed y'all on the map. All right, I showed y'all the fucking map. So, which is right here, but I showed y'all the older map. Y'all can rewind it if y'all want to see it. But all right, I broke that down earlier, and I said what states was a part of the original Louisiana. Okay, this map. Let's look at this map. See, it shows just this. This is Louisiana, and see, Missouri and Kansas is right in here in Louisiana. Well, we know it's Louisiana today. It said Mississippi, Arkansas. I read it to y'all at first, right? Missouri and Kansas was included in that. So, and this one kind of shows a silhouette of it right here. Let's look at this one. Okay, you see, this is Louisiana. All of this in white. You got New Orleans, that's where it was, by the water, which is the Gulf of the Americas. I shared that. But look at this. These are the states. This is where Kansas City Chiefs are. This is this is our base. Kansas is our neighboring state. All right. So, but this all was Louisiana, y'all. Just so y'all know. And my mama's ancestry is here. I told y'all some of her ancestors came from Spain and France and came through the port of Orleans here and mixed with the dark-skinned indigenous people there. All right, and traveled. Some of them was from South Carolina and traveled here. Some of the colonizers traveled there because I got colonizer blood in my ancestry, in my genealogy, and y'all do too. Do y'all fucking genealogy? But of course, I stand on business for my indigenous ancestry, my dark skin, my Negro Indian ancestry. I stand on business on that. This is why I also embrace my the misnomer, my Creole ancestry, which is just a gumbo pot, an admixture of all of the bloodlines that are in my genealogy. So do your own. The last 2 years, the Kansas City Chiefs reigned supreme, and they just reminded y'all to stand on business about your indigenous heritage and everything that comes with that. The land, the resources, the natural resources on your land, all of that. All of that. You're supposed to be really paying attention to that. Now, the colonizers then came and said, oh, we about to put a change, a chaos, a disruption into y'all claiming y'all indigenous heritage with the Philadelphia Eagles and Trump showing up at the Super Bowl. He put an extra battery pack in a ritual. He did. So, other sports, they play with other sports too. And if you know the signs and symbols, you could, if you a gambling person, you could gamble on some shit and make some money if you know how to read the signs and the symbols and you know what's going on in the world. Current events, you got to know current events and past history events. Now, I knew this. Everybody was saying that my team was gonna win again. The Kansas City Chiefs was gonna win again, but I knew different. But I ain't gonna be speaking that shit out loud. I'm gonna be like, it's Kansas City Chiefs all motherfucking day, Red Kingdom. I'ma still spit that shit, but I know what the fuck it is. And when he showed up at the Super Bowl, he's the first president to ever show up at the Super Bowl. Y'all gotta pay attention to the fucking sign. And like I said, something is gonna be happening with the money because Philadelphia was the first capital in told y'all this right here. Philadelphia was the temporary capital of the U.S. from 1790 to 1800. And down here it says the city was home to the first U.S. Mint. All right, and the first Negro Indian mixed with some Africans. A small amount of Africans came over here. A very small amount. They lied about the numbers, y'all. Do y'all research? Our church system, like I said, with the saints, with Santeria, the Catholic saints are at the forefront, but underneath the core, the root of the spiritual systems is our ancestors' indigenous spirituality and culture. Some of it's called voodoo, hoodoo, Santeria, Lakumi, Umbanda, all of these derivatives, Obia, all of that. All of that. So do your research on your family's, your bloodline and your spirituality and culture of your ancestors. I can't stress that enough. If y'all new to my channel, y'all know I'm about this life, this spiritual life, and reading the signs and symbols, the hidden hands. And most of the time I try to speak on shit and people need to check my fucking resume. I've been speaking on this shit for a long time. A long time. So but yeah, I'm gonna be hollering, I'm gonna be representing to the world like, yeah, it's Kansas City Chiefs Kingdom all motherfucking day. But within their Super Bowl ritual, they did rituals and they did the last part of the ritual in your face. They used your energy to but they knew that it wasn't going to be enough apparently because Trump comes to the Super Bowl. Him and his people come to the Super Bowl and they add an extra battery pack to the shit. And it's all about the stealing, the illegal selling of the Louisiana land, indigenous land, period. That Louisiana purchase it gave us a picture of what the colonizers came here and they did. They raided our land, they stole oil, the black gold, they stole earth, land, resources, all that shit. And one of their hidden hands is in this organization, this hidden little organization that is above the table. All right. Let me see. We was gonna get into this book though a little bit. So this is the book we get into, Return of the Ancient Ones. All right. Yeah, have y'all heard the saying that we are our ancestors reincarnated? Even Kendrick was speaking on that shit. He said he reincarnated. Yeah, see, our ancestors speak through people, and music is another religion. It's another spiritual system. Actually, it's a universal spiritual system. Music is, and our ancestors will use a strong melanated um, original Negro Indian descendant to say these messages to the masses of people. and everybody's singing They're Not Like Us. Who he fucking talking about? He had Samuel Jackson in the fucking shit. Let me show this because I didn't already put my disclaimer up. Okay, let me pull it up. All right. So he represents, in essence, the colonizers, the U.S. corporation, Uncle Sam, right? And y'all listen to Kendrick's words, his lyrics of his fucking song. Yes, listen to the fucking lyrics. He been telling y'all. He told y'all to turn the TV off. He told y'all basically he's reminding y'all they not like us. Even though they about to take this Super Bowl, this ritual, they about to take the shit. Like they illegally took Louisiana and the illegal Louisiana purchase. They about to take this shit. They about to fuck with our money. They about to continue the divide and conquer. All of that shit. Let me. So y'all see Samuel Jackson. He had the red, white, and blue, and the stars. All of that shit. Let's look at they. K Dot was on his shit. Let's look at the lyrics. All right. This is for educational purposes only. Dang. I don't want all that shit in the background. Let's see. Damn, they showing the same fucking shit. Let's focus on the letters. Damn, I mean on the words. Shit. Let's see if I can get them out. Oh, they gonna show they sports shit. But damn. This is for educational purposes only. All right. This is for criticism and news. Um let's see. What is the owl? And you know, owl is in the word Super Bowl. The owl represents that Bilderberg group shit, which is related to the committee of 300. All right. So, in essence, if you look at even Kendrick and Drake, their little rap beef. Kendrick represents the dark-skinned indigenous peoples, and Drake represents the colonizers. The colonizers infiltrated. In essence, he has this mixed ancestry, right? So he is the new hidden hand in plain sight uh chess piece of the colonizers that's tried to infiltrate the music industry, right? Music is powered by melanated people, melanated indigenous people and its descendants. We have power, we have soul power, we have spiritual power. It is in our essence, it comes out in our music. That's why people gravitate towards us. We got that, as they say, that anointing on our shit, right? So here we go. Let me pull this shit back up. But we're gonna go back to the book and we're gonna talk about the ancient ones and show y'all some, some pictures of some ancient ones and shit. We're gonna pull this shit up. But all right, let me scroll through these lyrics again. He said the audience is not dumb. Um, I'm getting to the shit. Y'all know the words. Y'all been singing that shit all summer, right? They not like us. He's A dark-skinned Negro Indian descendant man, Kendrick Lamar, K. Dot, was spitting some real shit to y'all. He's telling y'all Drake and his people that represent the owl, they not like us. All right. And they stole our land and our resources as a whole. This is why the where we live is colonized. Yeah, you may live on a reservation or you may still have your family land and home, but in the world, they done colonized this world, right? All right. Let me see. I'm gonna highlight some shit. I'm just looking. He's speaking that G shit, but he's speaking some real shit. He's talking about um their practices, how their prominent men will have little boyfriends as like a little trophy and shit. He's talking about all that shit. Um okay, he said the settlers was using town folk to make them richer. All right. Um yeah. He said Atlanta was the mecca building railroads and trains. It's one of the. It depends on what tribal nation you from. Atlanta is not the mecca for everyone, but yeah, yeah. He said, "Let me break it down for you. This is the real Naga Negoose challenge, Negro Indian challenge. Let the real Negro Indians stand the fuck up." All right, he was talking about. Damn, I gotta get to that part. Uh, Yeah, when he said you run to Atlanta when you need a few dollars, how it was talking about the mint. Damn. Damn. I gotta go back. I moved too fast. Let me go back. All right, he said, once upon a time, yeah, some of our ancestors were indentured servants and some of them were in chains. But he's also talking about like mentally in chain. Your mind is enslaved in chains. Like when I said eyes wide shut. Why you looking at the Super Bowl and you having fun, you talking your shit, you doing all that, but it's like a eyes wide shut type of shit. Do you know who you are, who you have descended from? Do you know your power? That type of shit. Um, he's talking about their freaky ass practices because they do some other rituals. The Super Bowl ritual is just the one you see before your eyes while you got your TV on. This is the one you see. But they do some other shit that you don't see. All right, he was talking about how they are predators that move in flocks. All right. That name got to be registered and placed on neighborhood watch. He dropping some jewels in the song, y'all. uh yeah, he's spilling beans and all that shit. uh mm, yeah, what is the owl? Bird niggas and burnt bitches. Uh but when he talks about who was the owl, so it was shown to y'all. Like I said, Kendrick represents the Negro Indian, the original, a descendant of the original dark skinned Indians of Earth, indigenous people. And Drake is he's a descendant of both, but he's a descendant of the colonizers. So just like you had the teams in the Super Bowl, one was a representation of the dark skinned indigenous peoples of the earth, and then of the colonizers of the earth. So you just got to know whose side who your team play for, who your team work for that you don't know about, who your team fucking work for. All right. Um, Yeah, how they have extorted shit. Um, and I love how he said, beat your ass and hide the Bible if your God is watching. You know, it's kind of like a play on words and shit. Because the colonizers got different gods than our original dark skinned indigenous ancestors. We had great spirit. We knew that great spirit was within all things. We recognized that. So we was on our ancestors was on a whole nother level. Uh the ops is people that's worked for the ops. They in plain sight. And I'm sure they're gonna try to infiltrate Kendrick. I'm sure they're gonna try to infiltrate him like a motherfucker they are. Just like they infiltrated us. And then they first when they first set up shop at they little headquarters of they Capitol and U.S. Congress shit, they first place that they had this like solidified was in Philadelphia, y'all. So there you have it. There you have it. Any comments or questions in the building? Peace. Soul era. Yeah, just watch it from the beginning. I just break down the Louisiana Purchase, how the Super Bowl was played on stolen fucking land, Louisiana, with the Louisiana Purchase. They trying to mimic that energy. Um yeah, they really trying to, and I showed the ancient map of Louisiana. Um I had showed the other map, the I believe it was a French map. But I just showed how Missouri, where the Kansas City Chiefs are from, our neighboring state is Kansas, but the Kansas City Chiefs is from Missouri. Missouri is a part of Louisiana. And how the colonizers, Philadelphia is over here. All right, northeast. And they came and stole Louisiana, which was dark skinned Indian land. So that's the Super Bowl which ritual, and some shit gonna happen with the fucking money, y'all. The US Mint. The land, gold. Gold is gonna I mean not the black gold. Oil is gonna be a factor. Oil is gonna be a factor. Yeah. So just pay attention to oil and oil prices, all type of shit, gas prices. It may appear to look like one thing, but they doing some shit behind the scenes, y'all. This is gonna be real interesting. And this was a book recommendation. Read this, Return of the Ancient Ones. Read this because she talks about how she's a descendant of the Washita, but she talks about how she basically took the state of Louisiana to court and she won, and they don't have the resources to pay her back for real. Her and her descendants, her and her people, her tribal nation. Y'all can look at the y'all can do research on her case, but read her book, Return of the Ancient Ones, y'all. I'm almost at the 2 hour mark. I'm just like just giving y'all some gems to look at, some things to look at. My life was for fair use, all right, educational entertainment purposes only. I have used comments, criticism, I have critiqued shit, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use, baby, is permitted. Yes, it's permitted. All right. Just so we fucking clear on some shit. But I told y'all to research this little group because they the hidden hand that's quote unquote above the table, above Trump and them, above the owl people. But connected. They connected. And let me pull up this while y'all looking at this book. Right here. Let me pull up this other book real quick. The Okay, so when they play chess in a Super Bowl type ritual, this is what they be fucking with right here, right here. All right, this is what they be dealing with, right? Now, they have copied melanated, dark-skinned, indigenous people, original people's spirituality and culture. They have mimicked our shit, and they have named it this. All right. So you would need to do your research on melanated spirituality and culture, or ancient ones. That's why you need to get that book, Return of the Ancient Ones. It will school you, and it will also challenge you to get other books that break down spirituality and culture of dark-skinned indigenous people, original peoples. All right. So this is when they do Super Bowl and sport games, this is the level that they playing on, and they bet money on the shit. The last 2 years, the dark-skinned Indians, descendants of the Negro Indians, was highlighted in the Kansas City Chiefs. But this year, with that Philadelphia Eagles, they took it back. So just so y'all know, so this is what they own. They own this shit right here. This is what they own. They copied our shit, y'all. Just so y'all know. And I'm about to shut it on down because my laptop is about to die. I need to charge it up. But just do y'all due diligence. Do y'all fucking research. Do y'all research. And definitely get the book, Return of the Ancient Ones, and read it. And in part 2, if I do a part 2, yeah, if I do a part 2, I'm going to come back and read this. We're going to read some more. Yeah, we're going to read about back in the ancient times with the ancient ones. We're going to read that chapter, y'all. So, I'm out. Y'all. Peace.